Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I am Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Man, it's summer 2012 and it's beautiful here in New York. We've had a nice little heat wave. I think we've had like rain like one day in the last month. We need the rain, but I'm enjoying the sun tremendously and I love it. I've been running a lot and I feel great and outdoors. It's been great. My restaurant's busy and doing some new projects at the restaurant, like a back patio and sidewalk dining out front. So doing some nice upgrades here. I want to talk. Today's mission is nutrition and calorie restriction, and this drives me crazy. Calorie restriction. So many people say, "Oh, I can only eat so many calories. I have to make sure my dishes, I'm on Weight Watchers and this is 3 points and this is that." And every time somebody asks me what's my opinion on calorie restriction, I tell them it's a bunch of nonsense. First off, a calorie is not a calorie. Okay, when you're in dietetic school, you're taught that a calorie is a calorie, and a person needs so many calories a day to be nourished properly, as long as their macronutrients are aligned, like protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So this is why hospitals will give you corn syrup and sugars as a source of nutrition, refined sugars, and literally high fructose corn syrup is in a lot of their food, and they count that as, well, there's a calorie, there's energy, there's nutrition, that's part of your carbohydrates for the day, and that couldn't be so far off base. First of all, if you were to take test groups and take humans or rats, whatever animals you wanted to, and feed them a junk diet, junk calories, all refined carbohydrates, refined like sugars and stuff like that, and even like white flours, and then give another group the same exact identical caloric amount, but put a whole foods in it, like wheatgrass juice, greens, fresh fruits, fresh veggies, expeller pressed olive oil if you needed to add the fat in. On that side, there'd be a massive difference on who gets healthier quicker, who is healthier, who has less fat around their waist. There's be a massive, massive difference. So what's wrong with the American Dietetic Association and their credentials that they teach? That's because Pepsi and Coke and these big, massive companies are the ones who fund the ADA, and they're the ones who teach them, because if you're Coke and Pepsi, you don't want to teach that high fructose corn syrup is bad. So the whole system's messed up to begin with. But do you ever see like wild animals? Like you see deer, you see rabbits, you see cows. They're not wild, but cows, horses. They're constantly eating. That's all they do. Now, I'm not talking about cows that are in feedlots. I'm talking about cows that are out on grass pastures. So these animals and deer, all they do all day is eat. There's no calorie restriction. There's no such thing as deer saying, "Oh my gosh, we're gotta lose some weight here and we better cut off the grass." And no, they're eating good, high calorie, excessive calories in most people's realm of eating, because they just non-stop eat. That's all they do, is they just graze all day long and they're just chewing all away. Now, if us humans did that, if we did that, because the food that we're accustomed to, most of us would be very obese, and it wouldn't be a good situation. But the wild animals have no problem being nice and slender. A lot of people eat venison because it's a very lean meat. Okay, and rabbits are very lean. And sure, these animals are much more active, but they have a better diet to be active. So when people just say I'm on Weight Watchers, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing you could be doing. It's just restricting those calories. You need the calories. Your body needs it. I eat a ton of fruit every day. I don't know how many calories I eat, but I eat a ton of fruit. Like literally like 10, 15 bananas. And that's like 1,500 calories right there just in bananas a day. People are like, oh my gosh, that's too much, Marcus, that's too much. No, it's not too much at all. I'm very active because I eat high quality carbs. I can go out and run. I can be very active. Once I switch my diet to high calorie, high quality carbs like fruit, fresh raw organic fruit, my running times improved and my running distance improved drastically. It wasn't even the same person on this diet. My energy levels and everything. But I have no calorie restriction. I've never done calorie restriction, in the last 12 years. I was eating a lot of fats, you know, until last year. A lot of olive oil, a lot of coconut oil. I cut all that kind of stuff out. But, you know, as far as carbs, I'm just like maxing it out to, you know, on carbs. And I see these people on calorie restrictions, just like, oh, if you only ate, the point of non-calorie restrictions, you have to eat the right foods, okay? You just can't pig out on everything. You can't pig out on salad dressings and stuff like that, because that's very high fat. But if you're eating the right calories, pure, natural, organic, unadulterated food, you know, you can eat all you want of broccoli. All you want of broccoli. You can eat 5,000 calories a day of broccoli. You're not going to gain weight. You can eat as many bananas as you want. You can eat as many mangoes as you want. Oranges, apples, pears. And you're not going to gain weight, because that's what our bodies are designed. That's the fuel our bodies were designed to use and to burn. Not white sugar. Not white sugar's refined. Not you know, even maple syrup. Even those sugars are refined sugars. They're coming out of the tree and then they're getting reduced down and cooked. And you're removing, you know, certain elements, especially when you're doing sugars. You're removing the fiber, you're removing the protein, you're keeping some of the minerals in, and there are healthier sugars. Healthier, not healthy, healthier. So if you want sugars that have more minerals in it, that are less heat processed and less stripped, you have options like organic sucanat or palm sugar, which would be my favorite. You know, then you have brown rice syrup, you have certain agave nectars, maple syrup. So there are healthier, but a lot of people say, oh, this is a healthy sweetener, and they just use it like crazy. No. A healthy sweetener is a banana. A healthy sweetener is an apple. Those are those have the whole food contained. Those have the fiber, the protein, and the fiber is so important to buffer the natural sugars. That's what your body needs. Your body needs that fiber as a buffer. Because if you just took apple juice and juiced it and went out or bought apple juice in a jar, it's not healthy anymore. An apple pie is not healthy anymore, but a pure whole apple is. That's the ticket right there, is a pure whole food. If you're eating the pure whole food, and you can eat as much as you want. You don't have to worry. The deers eat as much as they want of the food they're designed. Cows eat as much grass as they want. Now, once a cow gets into a feedlot and starts eating grain, or they start supplementing grain, that's when the fat starts packing on. And here's the funny thing. You know, meat eaters will look at beef and like, I want fat, I need marbling. And chef's like, I need marbling, you know, prime age, prime, you know, grade beef. And you look at these cows are huge. In fact, they go from like 800-900 pounds once they leave the grass, and once they hit the feedlots, they finish out at 1,200-1,300 pounds. That's a massive weight gain. These animals are obese. You wouldn't walk around and look at humans, look at people that are morbidly fat, look at them and say, man, that's prime. They're prime. Look at that, man. That's what we do with cattle. These things are obese, unhealthy. And we're looking at them like, yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want to eat. And you wouldn't look at humans like that. A cannibal wouldn't say, man, look at that. That's prime human right there. That's perfect. You know, it's just nonsense the way we think about it. So calorie restriction, I'm against it if you're eating the right foods. And you have to eat the right foods to be healthy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's where it's at, eating the food as Mother Nature intended. If you can't plant the food, don't eat it. That's just a simple rule, okay? If you can do most of your diet or all of your diet like that, man, if you can take the orange and get the seeds and plant it, the apple, plant it. You can't plant pasta, you can't plant bread, you know, all that stuff goes moldy and rancid. You know, you can't plant an English muffin, you can't plant scrambled eggs. It's just, it doesn't work. That's what happens in your body. You're planting foods into your body. And once you plant foods into your body, it gets distributed throughout your whole body. Within 10 seconds, your blood gets distributed through your whole system. And once you eat food and consume that, and you metabolize that food into your system, it's getting pumped throughout your whole body. And if you're sick in the hospital and you're eating corn syrup, that's going to weaken your immune system. Your whole immune system is now shot. It's just going through and just weakening everything else. That's why so many people go to the hospital. They have pneumonia, they have all these other things, because there's no proper nutrition at hospitals typically. It's ridiculous. I fought when my buddy Eric was in the hospital, fought with the nutritionist. She told me a spoonful of corn syrup is the same as eating a pear. It's the same response. And I said, you're crazy. She said, you're nuts. And it's just, that's their mentality. It's just, calorie is a calorie, and a calorie is not a calorie. Okay, you feel better when you eat better calories. Calories aren't meant to consume. So, I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Say no to calorie restriction. Say yes to eating foods that we are designed to eat. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit click, share, like, subscribe, and I promise I'll make some more videos here. It's just summertime 2012, and I'm extremely busy. I was away for a few days too. It's been like a month since I made a video, but stay tuned for more videos to come up.